I love rhythm action games, and I generally pick up every single one that comes out on PC and on console, because I just can't get enough and I can't help myself. And I picked up Kovox Pitch this week, which is a rhythm action game that has got an anime feel to it, but is heavily Eastern European and got a great post-punk soundtrack. Now, when I played the demo of this last year, I was left with mixed feelings, and now that I've played the full game, I have to say that the demo doesn't give the best foot forward for this game. And the reason for it is that the game gives plenty of breathing space for you to pick up and learn new tricks and traits that get introduced on each of the 8 stages as you go through story mode. Each stage offers 3 to 5 different songs, but it drops in a new gameplay mechanic. And with the demo that I played last year, it was trying to cram all of that learning into just like a couple of songs, and it felt a bit clunky and awkward, and the difficulty curve initially was quite difficult. That is thoroughly smoothed out actually in Kovox Pitch, to the point where actually early on you'll be quite easily powering your way through all of the songs, probably with 100% clearance. So how does the game actually work? In Kovox Pitch, you play as a baseball player who's going to be smashing balls back that's being shot out of the back of their moped. They'll have initially 1 lane of balls to deal with, and you'll have 1 button on your controller to hit them back. Normal balls will just need 1 hit, then you'll have ones that have got a long line behind them, which is like a press and hold, and if they've got like a zigzag, almost like an energy electricity mark to them, those are ones that you need to press and button mash to clear. Very quickly though, it starts to up the ante by adding a second lane to what you're doing. And so what you'll have is these orange balls called Switchables, and when you do that you hit left bumper on your controller and you'll switch lane either forward or backwards to then continue on your chains as you go. Very quickly after that, it starts to introduce different colours of balls. So you'll have, I was playing on my Xbox 360 controller, X to hit the red balls, A to hit the blue ones, which was slightly awkward for me based on colour because X on the controller is blue. So I was like, whoa. So it took me a while to get used to it. And then you've still got blank balls, which you can hit with anything. After that, you'll then have different arcs of balls that go slightly slower than others because they're doing like an archy arc over the top instead of a straight line towards you. You'll have balls that require multiple hits. And then the one that really got me, that kept getting me confused, is that it sent out like what it called dirty balls, but they were just mines, and you needed to not hit those. And it's so difficult in a rhythm action game where you're having to kind of to miss things, and I couldn't get my brain on it. And that was really the level that threw me like for 6 for a little bit, and I did have a couple of fails before I got used to it again. The way how you fail a level is, as you can see on the kind of the target that you are hitting the balls on, the more you miss, the more it starts to go round and colour into white. And then if that whole thing loses all of its colour, then it's game over and you need to hit R to restart. However, that kind of gets replenished back up again if you continuously hit balls correctly. You have to really go some to fail if you're just like losing 1 or 2 balls here or there, but where it does get you is with that switchable. If you miss time going between a lane, sometimes you can be 3 or 4 balls down before you kind of flip over, and that's enough to kind of really empty out your life meter, and then it's game over and then you need to restart again. The other thing that I kind of went, oh really, are we doing this? Is the very last level and stage that you get. There's 8 stages through story mode and there's 3 to 5 songs in each. Totally turns down the darkness of everything so that it's really muted because it takes place on a top of a building in sunset. And I couldn't see what I was doing, and I had like my face up against the screen, and I was like, I'm not sure this is quite good gameplay. Which is a shame because the other ideas and mechanics all kind of work really, really well. So yeah, there we go. Songs last anywhere from about 1.5 minutes up to 3.5 minutes. The story mode largely contains 2 bands. Both sound like they're singing in Russian. I'm not 100% sure if that's correct, but all of the links to their music is available in the menu afterwards as well. But then outside of the story mode, there's more songs that are available for you to play in easy, medium or hard mode, where it adds on basically more and more beats to it. playing this game feels like you're playing a kick drum machine in a rock band, because that seems to be how like the beats and the rhythm is sorted out. It's not following vocals, it's not following synths, it feels like it's following a kick beat rhythm, sometimes in addition to whatever the rhythm is that's going on with the rock band, but it does feel like you're always doing that bass kick drum beat all the way through, with occasional like snare runs when you're having to button mash stuff. Outside of that, the game also offers an entire editor mode for you to import in your own music via WAV format, and then build your own levels as well. Now, I've only mucked about with this very, very briefly, but what I really liked was it seemed to follow the Project Diva style way of having like timelines across the bottom, very similar to how you edit videos actually. And so you have the wave there for you to kind of play, and then you drop in where you want certain types of balls to hit on the beats as you go along. And I thought that was a really good idea and incentive, and potentially gives Kovox Pitch a much bigger longevity beyond the about 40 odd songs that are already in the game as it is, which is great value for money. The game itself, I thought played really well. I like the fact that each stage added in a new gameplay mechanic, so it kept things fresh. The only things I didn't like about it was this weird kind of text to AI voiceover that the game had, which made it sound like a story about human emotions was being narrated by a robot, which seemed very ironic to me, and sort of kind of made the story feel a little bit more damper squib than it should have been. But aside from that, I really, really enjoyed this game, and it's so much better than what the demo showed me. And it has much bigger longevity because of the ability to import in your own music and do your own tracks. How you then share them with other people afterwards, I think, is going to be quite tricky. It's going to be very much on your own that you get to play it. But yeah, if you like playing with editors and stuff like that, plenty of extra stuff for you to do here on Kovox Pitch after you've played the story and free play modes. Written review will be over on highplayinggames.com. Hope that was informative. Another good rhythm action game to add to the pile. You guys take care. Bye for now.
Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.